Brothers and sisters, 12-week na po tayo. Lampas na po tayo ng 2 buwan at kalahati. And itong yugto po ito ay very interesting also. Kasi ang ating tema po, the Catholic family, in what way it has supposed to have an influence and impact to its own church, to the Catholic Church, to its own parish, and why not to the society? Sa lipunan po. That's what we've been saying in the past 2 segments. So ngayon, pakinggan po natin muna ang isang text sa Scripture na siyang magbibigay po ng kulay, liwanag sa ating pag-uusapan ngayon.
In the first year of Cyrus, king of Persia, in order to fulfill the word of the Lord spoken by Jeremiah, the Lord inspired King Cyrus of Persia to issue this proclamation throughout his kingdom, both by word of mouth and in writing. Thus says Cyrus, king of Persia, all the kingdoms of the earth, the Lord, the God of heaven, has given to me, and he has also charged me to build him a house in Jerusalem, which is in Judah. Whoever therefore among you belongs to any part of his people, let him go up, and may his God be with him. Let everyone who has survived in whatever place he may have dwelt be assisted by the people of that place with silver, gold, goods, and cattle, together with free will offerings for the house of God in Jerusalem. Then the family heads of Judah and Benjamin, and the priests and Levites, everyone, that is, whom God has inspired to do so, prepared to go up to build the house of the Lord in Jerusalem. All their neighbors gave them help in every way, with silver, gold, goods, and cattle, and with many precious gifts, besides all their free will offerings.
Ganun po, brothers and sisters. Meron tayong narinig na libro, Book of Ezra. Ano ba ang konteksto ng napag-usapan dyan ni Ezra? Bakit pinag-uusapan yung bumalik sa Jerusalem? Kasi po, nawala sila sa kanilang bayan, ang mga Israelita. Yes, okay yung somehow the kingdom of David and Solomon, pero nahati po yan into 2 parts. Yung northern at saka yung southern kingdom. Israel they call the north, Judah they call the south. Somehow, though they come from the same stock, may magkakaiba po ang kanilang mga political affiliations. The north were more towards Syria and Lebanon, and the south were more with Egypt. May mga propeta that were telling the kings, masama ang ating pamumuhay. Hindi tayo nasasang-ayon sa kalooban ng Diyos. Hindi ito ang tamang pamumuhay bilang bayan ng Diyos. Unheeded, pinagtatawanan, even persecuted. One of these prophets, Jeremiah, predicted, naku, we will have an exile. Mapapadala tayo sa exile. In fact, nangyari sa Northern Kingdom. Nauna sila. Sinakop sila ng mga Assyrians at pinadala ang mga taga-Northern Kingdom sa Assyria. Meron pang isang grupo sa South. Sabi ni Jeremiah, tatamaan din tayo dyan. Pinagtatawanan siya. He was even maligned. He became a suffering servant. And yet, nagkatotoo. Meron din siyang pong prediction kasi pumunta siya sa exile na ito'y magtatapos after 70 years. Yun po nabasa natin. After 70 years. Ano po ang 70 years? Kunyari ako po, 60 anyos. Napunta ako sa Babylon, present-day Iraq. Dala ko aking mag-anak, aking anak, ang aking apo. O sige, marahil yung aking anak, nasa 35, 40 years old. Nag-aasawa sila doon, bata sila, mga 20 anyos pa lang, may anak na. So ano nangyari dito? Ba yung aking, may apo na ako. Siguro yung aking apo, mga 10, 15 years old. What is 70 years? Di ibig sabihin yung apo ko, 85 na. May anak na rin siya na pinanganak sa Babylon, at marahil yung kanyang anak, meron din na anak. So, ilang henerasyon po yan, yung 70 years na yan. So ito po, there was a twist of faith sa mga Hudyong ito. Aba, merong sumakop sa Babylon. And this is the Persian Empire, led by a new king called Cyrus. Alam niyo mga kapatid, meron siyang parang religious bent. Nagkaroon siya ng panaginip. At sinabi sa kanyang panaginip na yung Diyos ng mga Hudyo, gustong siya ang mga siwa na i-rebuild ang kanilang temple sa Jerusalem. So pinahanap niya ang mga Hudyo at pinabalik. Bumalik ba? Mga kapatid, kung yung henerasyon, kunyari, ng lolo ko, o ng kapatid ko, o ng tatay ko, pumunta ng Amerika, 70 years after. At least, yung great-grandchildren ng lolo ko o tatay ko, nasa Amerika na ngayon. Canada, Germany, France, developed countries. Ba't ka uuwi? Ba't ka magsisimula uli? Tawagin natin, backwater yan eh. Pobreng bayan yan, yung Israel na yan. Mas maraming disyerto, lalo na sa Judea. So, konti lang po ang umuwi. And yet, itong konting ito po ang nagpasimula. And the first thing, kasi yan po ang task, meron naman silang gamit na pinadala ni Cyrus, they wanted to rebuild the temple. Rebuilding the shrine, the place where God lives, together with the Ark of the Covenant. And so they began again their people, their nation. Ito po ang storya ni Ezra. Storya today. About 1,000 years ago, God told Francis of Assisi to rebuild this church. Ito naman si Francis. Akala niya, physical church. Nakita niya isang rundown chapel. Pangalan, San Damiano. Kasi parang doon nagpakita ang Diyos. Nagsalita si Kristo mula sa krus. And therefore, Francis of Assisi, in his conversion to become a more fervent, devout Catholic, inayos niya simbahan. Hindi pala yun. Mas mahirap ang pinaparebuild na church. The church was luxurious. The church was with a lot of people who were no longer living out the simplicity, the goodness, the kindness for each other of Jesus Christ. Sabi niya, revealed the lives of the church people. The churchmen, starting with the bishops and the Pope, rebuild their faith. And that is Assisi. To this day po, bumisita kayo sa Assisi. It is a holy place, a sacred environment, filled, you could feel in the air the holiness of Francis of Assisi. Now, about 50 years ago, Pope Paul VI came to Manila, and this Holy Father wanted to rebuild the church in Asia, especially because of what happened to the church in China. So alam niyo ginawa niya? He gathered together all the bishops of Asia. Ginawa niyang federation, yung mga bishops' conferences. Pagkatapos, he put up with the help from Germany, Miserior, funding, Radio Veritas Asia. And with that, he said, let's proclaim again the good news in different languages, in Burmese, in Hindi, in Japanese, in Chinese particularly. And with that, we have so many of these radio programs beaming, putting the airwaves by radio to the different parts of Asia. Manila, the Philippines, became the hub of the evangelization of peoples of Asia. 25 years after po, 1995, what happened? World Youth Day? Hindi. It was also to commemorate the Silver Jubilee of the visit of Pope Paul VI by John Paul II this time, and he took as a theme of the World Youth Day, telling the young people that were gathered there. I was present. Many others still alive are present. He said, as the Father has sent me, so I sent you. And he pushed again that the Filipinos and from the Philippines, the youth gathered from all over the world would become proclaimers of the faith. But more recently, last December, Pope Francis, because he came to know that we are preparing for the 500th anniversary of the reception of the Cebuanos of the faith, because they were baptized, they allowed themselves to become Christians. Thanks to Father Ricky. And a lay person, an OFW, driver po ng mga madre. Nakipagkontsaban sila at umabot sa opisina ni Pope Francis. Why don't you begin the first Mass of the Misa di Gallo for the Filipinos? December 15 was a Sunday. In the evening po, 7,000 Filipinos gathered inside St. Peter's Basilica, around 3,000, and another 4,000 outside. To begin this sense of, wow, we're celebrating the birth of our faith in the Philippines in 2021. So, December 15, 2019, Pope Francis said something to the Filipinos. No, sabi niya, diventate, become contrabandisti della fede, become smugglers of the Catholic faith. He was talking to migrants, OFWs, in Rome, in Italy. And therefore he was saying, kayong mga Pilipino, ismuggle nyo inside the homes of your amo, ng inyong mga tinutuluyan, ng inyong mga tinutulungan, ng inyong pinagtatrabahuan, ibalik nyo sa inyong mga amo ang kanilang paniniwala kay Kristo Jesus. So to this day po, it's not just Ezra and Nehemiah. It's not just Francis of Assisi. The new Francis, the Pope, tells us to share the faith. A Catholic family is a missionary family of the faith to their neighborhood, as will have an impact in the whole society.
Please allow me to introduce Thousand Oaks Packaging Corporation. It is a medium-sized private corporation engaged in manufacturing corrugated carton boxes. These are the brown boxes that are common in supermarkets to pack large volume of purchases. Ito rin yung mga balikbayan boxes. TOPC is located at the Lourdes Sports Center, Dr. A. Santos Avenue, Barangay San Antonio, Sucat, Parañaque City. Around 90% of TOPC's customers are exporters in the line of automotive, electronics, semicon, medical, and food businesses. And most of them are Japanese companies. Some are American, meron din mga Filipino. We have one customer which is owned by Father Francis' uncle, Orthopedics International. Let me introduce us before proceeding. I, Benji, and my wife Pebbles are the administrators of Thousand Oaks Packaging Corporation. I was a former Zwillig Pharma employee before I ventured into several businesses. Some were okay, some did not do well, may mga nalugi. But Pebbles, on the other hand, was a banker. She was a branch manager of Security Bank when I asked her to resign and help me with managing the company. We both studied at Don Bosco School of Theology and became students of Father Francis on several subjects. In fact, Father Francis was my advisor in my project paper. This is about Bible and life sharing, wherein we all pray the Lectio Divina weekly in our company. During our studies, we were challenged by our professors who supported us in coming up with formation programs in our workplace. This will be discussed further later on. Our team is composed of Ben Marasigan and Bubut Vidad who were rogationists before, Leo Senyal, Mai Cabral, Pong Litana, and Ning Baria. Some people are sent to far-flung places to be their mission, to be on mission. But we believe that God has placed us here in TOPC to be our mission field. This is where we have committed ourselves to profess, to live, and to proclaim our faith in Jesus. It all started in 2013 during the CBCP's announcement of the 9-year preparation program for the 500th anniversary of the Gospel's arrival in the Philippines. Naka-align kami sa project ni Father Francis. Okay. During one of our classes, one of our professors, Father Anthony Nguyen, is also a Salesian, challenged us and asked us, "What will you do for the year of faith?" Napatanong nga kami, ano nga ba gagawin natin? We prayed about it. I am sure our professors prayed for all their students, including us, and these are what God allowed to happen. Let me enumerate chronologically. For the year of faith, 2013, first of all, let me say that even before 2013, we already celebrate Mass monthly. And for us, this is tops. This is number one. And this year is an affirmation that the Mass must be continued to be celebrated regularly. Okay, the first thing that we did for the year of faith, in response to the challenge of our professors, is that TOPC reviewed the 12 Articles of Faith, the Apostles' Creed, by conducting 12 simple catechetical talks in layman's terms, reviewing each article for each month during the year of faith. Secondly, we started our annual spiritual recollection, and I would like to thank Father Mike LaGuardia for supporting us in this. We do this to have an awareness and thus be thankful for all the blessings. Okay, we also have to take care of our employees' physical needs. So we started the Thousand Oaks Packaging Care, or TOP Care we call it. It is an in-house medical benefit for employees and their immediate family. And the unused contributions are accumulated and shall be part of their savings until retirement. And they also have life insurance. 2014 is the year of the laity. Here we started the Bible and life sharing. This is a liturgical Bible reading where we read the Gospel for the coming Sunday and give a short reflection of it. This is a Lectio Divina. Bible and life sharing, or BLS, has nurtured the habit of reading the Bible throughout the whole company. BLS has played an important role in improving relationships within the organization. The leaders get a better understanding of what each employee is going through. It has even become a venue for reconciliation among employees who has some misunderstandings. This is our 7th year now of doing BLS. And during this lockdown, we do it via Messenger. It has a very positive impact in our company, and like anything good that is happening, we had to share it with our customers and our suppliers. During one of our meetings, we planned to have a housing assistance program for the employees. A big task. Can this be done? Was our question to ourselves. Let me give a short background. More often, production employees in a factory setting like the OPC come from the poor sector of society. This reality came when we immersed ourselves by visiting the homes of all our employees. We saw that almost all of them are financially challenged. Why? In hiring for production work, we are not strict as to educational attainment is concerned as long as they are willing to learn and are really in need of a job. Pero syempre, there are some criteria that must be met. An opportunity is given to those who have a hard time applying for work because they lack education. Some are uneducated, some are undereducated, and a lot of them are unionists. Yes, unionists from their previous job. That is why they are having a hard time looking for another one. The desire is to help them who have lots of challenges. And we also experience challenges with them. Let me enumerate some. They lack financial acumen. They come from poor families. Most of them have not been taught to handle money, and most likely because they lacked it. And a lot of them are deep in debt and have this disordered belief that they cannot live without utang. Some of them have not worked for a while, and some had vices like gambling, alcohol addiction, and others. Some were not able to attend values formation, and we cannot just turn our backs on them and shrug our shoulders and say, what can we do? That's their problem. They came here to work. But we believe that they need education, training, and formation. Imagine what they will pass on to their children. The importance of education is always reiterated to them, which they must give effort to and provide for their children. Employees are the most important asset of any company, as they say. They must be given the opportunity to learn. They must be taught about important aspects of life, most especially the spiritual aspect. And as mentioned, values formation and finances, which were not taught to them by their parents.
First step is we had to gather information about them. We made a home visit. We did a personal visit to the employees' homes. This was done to assess the family's situation and needs and to know if they can afford to amortize a housing loan because of the plan to have a housing assistance program, only to find out that there were other concerns that needs attention, specifically how to handle money, to be freed from loan sharks, gambling, drinking, and other vices. We had to educate them, so we had to stall the housing assistance program. What we did after this is to conduct a seminar. O utang, layuan mo ako. I gave a 4-day seminar, a series to enhance the financial literacy of the employees. This was due to what we found out in the home visit. It touches on savings, money management by getting out and how to handle debts. And as a way to help them to kickstart their journey out of debt, TOPC has written off their company loan. First kasalang TOPC, a mass wedding or kasalang bayan for TOPC employees who were either civilly wed or have already been living in for a number of years. This we found out in the home visit. By the way, this is my project paper for Master in Religious Studies in Don Bosco School of Theology, and I thank my advisor, Father Vicente Servania. All the expenses were shouldered by TOPC except for the rings. There were a total of 12 couples for the first batch and 7 couples in the second. 2015, Year of the Poor. We partnered with San Dionisio Credit Co-op. A memorandum of agreement was reached where all employees were required to join the co-op. This is a continuation of the O Utang Layuan Mo Ako. Time to save. This is to teach them to save for their future. There is a share capital that earns better than what banks offer. All their income from gain sharing programs. Not government mandated benefits like bonuses, cash prizes from competitions, cash prizes from recognitions are deposited here.
Next is Adopt a Poor Family program. The employees have been receiving catechesis and help from TOPC. Everybody agreed that it is now time for them, the employees, to share their blessings. All the employees were divided into four groups. Each group adopted one very poor family living way below the poverty line in the barangay where TOPC is situated. The different groups were left to their creativity on how to help their adopted family with regard to their physical, emotional, mental, financial, and spiritual well being. It is now their turn to home visit and find out the condition and need of their adopted family. All groups treated the children to meals, to an outing, and contributed in giving each family a startup business for their livelihood. More importantly, each group initiated Bible and life sharing sessions with the family. Okay, now since we believe in holistic formation, we also have an environmental preservation program. We had tree planting at Villa Socorro, and TOPC partnered with Haribon Foundation and participated in their multiply program, a tree planting activity in Nuvali, and their Punlaan project in Lumban, Laguna. We also have a recycling program where all the factory's wastes are recycled. All our waste are recyclable, and all the income gathered is used to fuel some of the employees' activities. Next, we have an outreach program where we visited Bahay ni Maria in Calamba. It is a home for very poor, abandoned, and neglected old women. And here we gave them some of their needs, yung mga consumables nila, and their maintenance medicines. 2016 was the year of the Eucharist and the family. The first activity that we had here is the second Kasalang TOPC, where there were 7 couples who validated their marriages. Okay, next, we had ang Misa. It is a 5 session seminar about the Mass. Similar to what Father Francis did, pero syempre iba si Father Francis. The Eucharist was explained to the employees, its parts, its history, and its significance. The Eucharist as a meal, a sacrifice, a memorial, and Jesus' real presence was explained for the employees to have a better appreciation of the Mass. Next was the start of livelihood seminars. This is for the employees, the housewives, the house husbands, for additional knowledge to be able to start a small business or use what they learned at home. Seminars given included soap making, candle making, meat processing, pastry making, small scale tilapia farming, biowall, technology, reflexology, makeup, and hairstyling. Okay, 2017 was the year of the parish as a communion of communities. TOPC and its employees pitched in and contributed to help the victims of the Marawi siege. Next, we started a 5-minute daily gospel reading. Hanggang ngayon, ginagawa namin to. This is done before the start of work. This is aimed to encourage the habit of reading the Bible daily. Um, we read the gospel for the day. All the readings for the day, we read that. And then reflect the whole day with what you read. Okay. And since we are holistic, we had next a fiesta of festivals. It is an awareness of social, cultural activities of our country like Penagbenga, Kadayawan, Moriones, Pahiyas, etc. to instill nationalism. A competition of traditional Filipino games were played. Yung mga hindi na natin nalalaro ngayon ng mga bata like Patintero, Luksong Tinik, Palo Sebo, sipa, agawang bahay, at saka piko. This is to remind them of the Filipino games which are not commonly played nowadays anymore. Okay, we also involve the children of the employees here. It culminated with the Boodle fight. Okay, for 2018, the year of the clergy and the religious. Ito na yon, at long last, it finally happened. The housing assistance program. This was the dream, and it already started to be a reality. To bring those in the depressed areas out of it. TOPC bought repossessed townhouse units in Gestra Villas in Parañaque, paid the equity and other documentation fees, and initially financed the cost of repairs of the units. TOPC assisted employees to apply for bank loans with the lowest interest rates possible. The recipients of this are those who follow the advice in o utang layuan mo ako and are now debt free. And they have savings in San Judicial Credit Cooperative, meaning they can afford to pay amortization through salary deduction. And this is to bring them out of the depressed areas. Okay, dito sa 2019, the year of the youth, dito, I'm very excited with this. We have this summer job program. This program has been running for years now, but I place it here to emphasize TOPC's commitment to evangelize the youth. This program is for the employees' children ages 14 and up. Parang an internship where they are given menial work for them to get a feel of what it is like to work. This does not only help the family financially, kasi instead of spending money during summer breaks doing nothing and playing around, these children are earning money. And more so, it also helps their relationship among the family. There are cases kasi where when parents are not in speaking terms with their children. This is a venue for them to bond. Isipin mo ha, kasabay mo pumasok, kasabay mo kumain, kasabay mo umuwi. And there are stories to tell about this. The children are given simple tasks and receive a daily allowance for their work. At the end of the summer, they buy their own school supplies, their own uniform. Others buy cell phones. Yung iba, tiyatabi nila yung pera for baon or for future need. TOPC want them to see the value of work, the value of money, saving for a future need, and also value the sacrifice their parents endure to provide for them. There is a requirement though. The only requirement, aside from being children of TOPC employees, is that they must be currently enrolled in school. Kaya they are doing their best to pass. Kasi nga, they are looking forward to the summer job. Naging barkada na sila eh. They also have their own BLS facilitated by one of the leaders. I think dalawang beses ako nag-facilitate sa kanila. And this summer job program culminates with a one-day recollection. Later on, we developed leaders within the group, and actually now we have one who is in the seminary who just finished philosophy. Okay, they also joined the summer sports program of TOPC. Sinasali namin sila sa mga competitions. Okay, next, we have marriage renewal in Chapel on the Hill. All the married couples, especially those who took part in the Kasalan TOPC, renewed their vows. This came, of course, with a couple's spiritual recollection.
Kape, Kwentuhan, Kababaihan. I was tasked to form an all-women group, most of them are young, that would support the wives and female employees of TOPC. They meet monthly. Values are taught to these women while having a chance to bond and take some time off, or what others call me time, that would give respite to the stressful management of the household. Here, they talk about anything like their insecurities, diet, sickness, dreams, plans, doubts, past, troubles, etc. This is therapeutic for them because they can unload what weighs them down. My heart's desire for these women to change the way they see themselves. Our tagline, I am beautiful, I am God's beloved, and I am loved. KKK has grown, expanded, and now serving the Mothers of Eugenia Ravasco School, and now having exploratory meetings with the Holy Family School. Ecumenism and Interreligious Dialogue 2020. We celebrated KKK's first anniversary. We had special guests, namely the 1st District Congressman of Parañaque, Eric Olivares, Miss Christine Jacob Sandejas, Father Mel Racelis SDB from Talisay, Cebu, and the Seymour Band of the Philippine Army. Talaan ng patotoo, ipasasalamat kay Kristo, an offshoot of KKK which is open even to the men of TOPC. It is basically a gratitude journal, a testimony of gratefulness to God for all the blessings received. Employees and KKK members are encouraged to post in social media the blessings they receive.
We are in the middle of the COVID-19 pandemic. Work stopped. Kahit saan, walang trabaho for a few months. And TOPC, to be able to help their employees, came up with Thousand Oaks Pantawid community quarantine. During the enhanced community quarantine, TOPC assisted the employees in different ways. We advanced half of the 13th month pay. We converted to cash all the employees' vacation leaves and sick leaves. We provided and still provide food allowance for their families, which is now more popularly called ayuda. And we give this on a bi-monthly basis. Okay, let's talk about awards. Because the workforce is motivated, commendations were given by customers like Best in Delivery, Best in Quality, Supplier of the Year, Regional, and eventually the national winner in a productivity Olympics of NWPC Dole. TOPC was showcased by NWPC Dole as a model workplace. We also became a finalist in the Kapatid Awards of ECO. Australian Catholic University picked TOPC as one of the 10 establishments in the Philippines by business students from this university who are on a study tour. They visited UST, Ateneo, San Miguel, I think even Unilever. And here is TOPC, a David among Goliaths. These students focus on social entrepreneurship, real life work in the Philippines, the human resource management and how they recruit, maintain, and develop employees. They touched on how businesses can contribute to bring a more just society in line with Catholic social teaching. Okay, in closing, may I say that in treating the employees as family, their perspective changed, and so did ours. The people we were trying to help have taught us a lesson or two about being human. We discovered our vocation as children of God. We are one big family who need each other. We are a Christian workplace, a Catholic who believe that everything is grace and that we have to cooperate with the grace we receive. God has placed us in charge of a business for a purpose, and our purpose is to follow Christ and share in His mission of love through the Holy Spirit's guidance. All these happen because God is in charge. Thank you very much.